Have you ever noticed that the best salespeople talk less? While everyone else rushes to pitch, they sit back, calm, confident, silent, and somehow they close the deal. It almost feels like magic, but it's not magic, it's listening. Because in sales, silence isn't weakness, it's power. Today, we're going to uncover why listening is the secret weapon of top performers and how mastering silence can help you win more trust, more clients, and more success. Most people think selling is about talking, about the perfect pitch, the right words, the catchy offer. But here's the truth. Sales begin the moment you stop talking and start listening. When you listen deeply, you understand the client's pain, their fears, their dreams. And once you know what truly matters to them, your words finally have meaning. Great salespeople don't sell products. They sell solutions. And you can't offer a solution until you know the problem. Listening shows respect. It tells your client, you matter more than my script. And that's where real persuasion starts. Most salespeople lose deals not because their offer is bad, but because they never heard what the client actually needed. They talk too soon, promise too fast, and pitch before understanding. It's like prescribing medicine before diagnosing the illness. When you interrupt or rush, your client shuts down. But when you give them space to speak, something changes. They open up. They tell you their frustrations, their hesitations, and their hopes. And that's when you stop being a salesperson and start being a problem solver. Silence isn't just a social skill, it's a psychological strategy. When you pause after someone speaks, the brain naturally wants to fill the silence, and most of the time, the other person reveals more. Researchers in communication psychology call this the power pause. It creates a space where trust grows and truth surfaces. So the next time a client says, "I'm not sure if this is right for me," don't jump in to defend your offer. Wait, listen. That few seconds of silence might bring out their real concern, and once you hear it, you can solve it. Silence doesn't lose deals, it wins clarity. Here's how top closers master the art of listening. 1. Listen to understand, not to reply. Don't wait for your turn to speak. Absorb what's being said. 2. Ask deeper questions. Use lines like, "Tell me more about that," or "Why do you feel that way?" These questions build emotional connection. 3. Watch body language. Sometimes what clients don't say is louder than words. A pause, a sigh, a smile, they all reveal meaning. 4. Use active silence. Nod, smile, and make them feel safe to keep sharing. You're not ignoring, you're inviting. By doing this, you make your client feel heard. And in business, feeling heard means feeling valued. Listening builds trust faster than any marketing strategy ever will. When clients feel understood, they stop resisting and start believing. Think about it. Would you buy from someone who keeps talking about themselves or from someone who truly listens to you? When people trust you, they don't buy because they're convinced. They buy because they feel safe. And trust is the silent currency of every successful sale. Here's a little-known truth. Silence can shift the balance in a negotiation. When you make an offer, then stay quiet. The other person starts processing. Most amateurs panic and start lowering the price or over-explaining. Professionals stay silent, and that silence often leads the other side to speak first, revealing what they truly want. The one who talks less controls more, because silence creates curiosity, tension, and respect. So, next time you negotiate, say your point, then stop. Let silence work for you. Listening isn't just about hearing, it's about feeling. Sometimes a client's tone, hesitation, or energy tells you more than their sentences. Top communicators listen between the lines. They notice what's missing, what's avoided, and what's emotional. That's where real understanding happens. The more emotionally intelligent you're listening, the more powerful your persuasion becomes. Every sale ends, but relationships last. When you listen, you're not just closing a deal, you're opening a connection. Clients remember the person who made them feel understood, not the one who made the flashiest pitch. That's why the best salespeople don't chase, they attract. They create loyalty, referrals, and lifelong trust simply by being present and paying attention. Because listening tells people something rare in today's world. You matter. And when people feel that, they don't just buy once, they stay for a lifetime.
Here's why most people struggle with listening. Ego. Talking feels like control. Talking feels like intelligence. Talking feels like power. But in sales, talking is often a defense mechanism. We speak to hide uncertainty. We pitch to avoid silence. We explain because we're afraid of rejection. And clients feel that. When you dominate the conversation, you're not leading, you're protecting yourself. But when you stay quiet, grounded, and attentive, something shifts. You signal confidence. Because only insecure people rush to prove. Secure people observe. The strongest sales professionals don't need to impress. They already know their value. So they listen, patiently, calmly, without fear. And that quiet confidence, it's more convincing than any pitch deck ever could be. Most people think authority comes from expertise, but in sales, authority comes from presence. When you listen deeply, clients subconsciously assign you higher status. Why? Because powerful people don't chase attention, they command it. Doctors listen before diagnosing. Judges listen before ruling. Leaders listen before deciding. When you interrupt, you lower your authority. When you rush, you look needy. But when you pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully, you become the calm center of the conversation. That calmness tells the client, this person isn't desperate. This person understands. This person can be trusted. You don't need to pressure people to buy. Authority removes the need for pressure. And listening is the fastest way to earn it. Here's the most powerful secret in sales. People believe ideas more when they say them themselves. When you listen, truly listen, clients begin to talk their way into decisions. They explain their own problems. They justify their own needs. They convince themselves. This is called self-persuasion, and it's far stronger than any external pitch. Every time you interrupt, you steal that process. But when you stay silent, nod, and allow space, clients build the case for you. By the time you finally speak, they're already leaning toward yes. That's why silence closes deals. Not because it pressures, but because it lets people hear